So, if you are serious about growing your production and building a business that doesn't stop when you do, then these weekly mastermind drops are going to be for you. I'm going to pull back the curtain on exactly what's working right now for top agents across the country. So, let's get to work.
All right, Freedom Team. Good morning. It is good to see everybody. Is it Caesar? Do you pronounce it Caesar or Cesar? Because I've heard it both ways.
However you like.
Whatever I like.
Morning,
Okay.
everybody.
I'm gonna call you Caesar.
There you
Hail
go.
Caesar. There you go. So
As long as it's not the hell with Caesar, we're okay.
you're right. I hear it. It's good to see you guys. Thank you so much for being here. If you're a guest with us, welcome. You're always welcome. We do this every Tuesday. We've done this now for, I don't know, 4 years now. We got a whole archive of some of the best trainings that you could ever get in this business. Seriously, I mean, the amount of business that people are able to do because of these trainings, it's been helping a ton of people, ton of agents. A lot of our agents are just really doing well and having good years in spite of just the craziness of the market and stuff. And so always excited to be here. It's great to have you with us. Again, you're always welcome. Same time, same Zoom link every Tuesday we're here. So real quick reminder, for those of you who are part of EXP, if you have not bought your tickets yet, EXPCon, it's coming up. Okay. What are we? I don't know, 5 weeks away, I think, something like that. So definitely get your tickets. We're doing a big Freedom Team event down there the first night, big get together, which is always fun. We'll all be able to hang out and connect and meet each other in person. For those of you who haven't yet, looking forward to that. So that'll be really, really good. That's coming up. I'll put the link here. One of us put the link in the chat so you can get the link to register. You can always go to our website. If you have not been to the new website, freedomteamsupport.com, you can go there. Andy spent hundreds of hours putting that site together, and everything you need for Freedom Team and your business, everything is on there. There are links to every possible way you can get around throughout EXP and throughout Freedom Team. So freedomteamsupport.com, you'll also see the link on there for EXPCon. So anyway, guys, great to be here. It's great to have you all with us. I want to introduce John Michael Perez. So John Michael, Austin, Texas. He's been in real estate for about 9 years, and he recently did this training for all of EXP. I saw this on the YouTube channel, and I was blown away by what he's doing. It's just, again, an idea that, me 23 years in the business, I've just never thought of doing what you're doing, John Michael. And I just thought, man, you got to come in here and show everybody, how you've built, it's really such a big, powerful business down there, what you're doing with Facebook groups. So he's down in Austin. He's been with EXP for about 2 years now, but just a great agent down there. So John Michael, I'm going to turn it over to you. Why don't you go ahead and kick us off. We appreciate you being here. I know this doesn't benefit you in any way, shape, or form to come in here and do this. So it's what I love about EXP, man. Everybody working together all across the board. So it's great to have you here, man. Thank you.
Yeah, that's one of the coolest things I love about EXP is the actual pure, genuine collaboration that happens here. And full transparency, it doesn't benefit me, but I believe in something called the law of reciprocity. And the more we give, the more we get. And so in my life, that has I've never seen so much fruit in my life. I actually learned that from my mentor. Hey, the more you serve before you sell, the more results you will get. But the key there is not removing all expectations. But my name is John Michael Perez. I have been doing real estate for, just like Jeff said, a little under 9 years. Absolutely love what I do. I am going to bring up a presentation really quick to show you guys. Here we go. All right. So today we're going to talk about the ultimate Facebook group course. It's the best guide to generating leads through Facebook groups. When you first get into real estate, you're like, man, what do I do? Do I phone call? Do I cold call? Do I door knock? Do I make videos? And for me, I tried everything for the longest time back when I first got into real estate. But before we get into that, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I was a heavy metal guitar playing singer for about 8 years prior to being in real estate. And I traveled all over the US, and it was super fun. I learned a lot, but I secretly wanted to just give up. I was just tired, honestly, at that time. In full transparency, looking back, I was still young, but I was tired. I was putting my whole heart into music, and I felt like I wasn't getting much out of it. traveled all over the US. And during that time, I was actually waiting tables as well. And so I was playing music all over the US, came back to waiting tables every single day, going up to a table and saying, "Hey, my name's John Michael. Would you like a sweet tea, Dr. Pepper Sprite? Okay, can we get you some queso?" And funny enough, we also sold pancakes. So we sold queso and pancakes, which is really funny. So, but eventually I was just like, you know what, I need to give up. And so I put everything on the back burner. I did what I do not tell people to do, and I quit my job on a whim. My wife goes, "Hey, John, I think you need to get a real job." And I was like, "Oh, that hurts, but I'll try." And so I Googled how to become a millionaire. And the third option on there was real estate. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to get into real estate. Back when I was 8 years old, full transparency, grew up on food stamps, welfare, the whole nine. I don't want to throw a pity party, but there was a friend of mine that actually his dad always used to pay for our food, and his dad was a real estate agent. And so something imprinted on my mind back then that I wanted to become a real estate agent. So I got my license. 9 years later, we've done a ton of sales. It's really fun. I absolutely love it. But before I get started, my one ask, and I'm going to ask this twice at the beginning and at the end. I'm going to give you guys a ton of value, right? And for the one ask, I told Jeff when he called me, I was like, the only thing I ask is that if I can just help my Instagram following. So if you do follow me, I'm going to send a link for a free 2-hour lead gen activities protocol. I get a ton of leads just from this protocol. And then also I'm going to give you an agent success schedule, which is exactly what I use for my schedule. And so 2 free things. All you got to do is follow me on Instagram, then send me a message asking for those 2 things, and I'll send you the link. All right, so let's get started. What are we going to talk about? So why Facebook groups are an amazing source for leads, the mindset for Facebook groups, tactics to start a successful lead generating Facebook group, how to post content that generates activity, and creating leads through events. And then at the very end, I'm going to tell you the secret sauce that I get so much business. It's awesome. I just did this secret sauce tactic and got 5 leads, 5 very warm leads for listings. 2 of them have went live, and that was within the last 2 weeks. All right, let's go get started. So if you had to start a Facebook group tomorrow that was not about real estate, what would it be? And that's a real question. I need some answers. If you had to start a Facebook group tomorrow that wasn't about real estate, what would it be and why?
I'd start one about saving dogs and cats.
Ooh, I like that. Okay, that's cool. Anybody else?
Who else? Play along.
So I actually did start a Facebook group for Christian women,
Very cool.
but I haven't, it's like I started it and then it's kind of gone dormant because
Well, I'll give you some awesome tips
engagement.
I'll give you some awesome tips to make it undormant.
Great.
Okay, yeah. So the reason why I ask is that, let me flip to the next one. Facebook groups can create an ecosystem where people can connect, ask questions, grow together, and consistently receive value, all while feeling like they're part of an exclusive community. And when done right, this naturally positions you as an authority figure and the go-to real estate agent, right? And so when we talk about Facebook groups, everyone leads with, "I'm a real estate agent," right? And then they promote themselves as a real estate agent. And then unfortunately, how many of y'all are getting advertised to 24/7, right? There's literally ads every 3 scrolls on Instagram. Every time you go down the road, there's a massive billboards everywhere of injury lawyers and of all the lawyers. There's so many lawyer billboards, but we're getting advertised to constantly, right? And so what I realized is that if I do create a system to where I'm passively marketing, pretty much I'm saying, hey, this is what I'm trying to this is what I'm talking about, but this is my coffee. This is real estate, right? So I'm telling people, look at this, look at this, look at this, and this is real estate. This, look at this, look at this, look at this, and this is real estate, right? And so what I did was, you know what? I'm going to figure out a niche for my community. I'm going to get really small and at first, and then I'm going to grow after I get small, but I'm going to market something else besides real estate, right? And then in doing that, I'm creating a community, and I am naturally positioned as the authority figure, but I am the real estate agent, right? Okay. So Facebook groups are an amazing source for leads. The Facebook's algorithm actively suggests your group to people with similar interests and local connections, making it one of the most powerful tools for building authentic relationships at scale. Homeowners and buyers organically, it attracts homeowners and buyers organically and makes a real impact in your community. And it's all about connection, value, and trust, not cold leads, right? And so today we're going to talk about strategies in order to passively market yourself, as well as there's a few strategies as to bluntly market yourself. But what's really cool about Facebook is the algorithm. Once you start building a certain niche of people within a Facebook group, Facebook actually suggests your Facebook group to other people that are similar than the ecosystem that you're creating, right? And so it's pretty much leads that Facebook is sending towards your Facebook group. So the mindset for Facebook groups: lead with value, give, and I'm not talking about money. Here are 4 things you can give that are not monetary and will not take directly from your bank account. So 4 things are: first one's information, local news, events, discounts. Second thing is connecting people. This is a powerful way to build influence. Example, insurance agents, roofers, painters, electricians, handymen, and mechanics. If you do not have a vendor list, I highly suggest you do. For me, I stay super loyal to my vendor list because what I've realized is over a long period of time, if I'm continually suggesting these same vendors, guess what happens? Law of reciprocity. Over time, these people start suggesting business to me. And it's really cool because even if I get an extra 2 to 3 deals every year just by connecting people that I know that are on my vendor list, it adds up over time. And then obviously I need to do a good job for these vendors and the referrals that they send me. But I make them feel special, and I'll let them know, hey, I just closed that deal. And then I'll probably give them a small gift or something. Third one is events. So creating environments where people become friends. If you have a Facebook group and you want to get leads through Facebook groups, in-person events are probably going to be one of the best proponents of a successful Facebook group. And then fourth, I know it's cheesy, but kindness, creating a community where people shout each other out and show up. People want to feel like they are a part of a tribe. And if you are constantly leading with kindness and action, then your community will follow suit, and you will have a lead generating community that literally you're the only person that everyone in that group wants to work with. Okay. So let me tell you a story about positive change through building community. So this is about a year and a half ago, and I'm a Christian, and God was telling me, hey, I want you to give more than you actually have. And I'm like, I have no idea how that's going to work, God, but I'll try. And so I'm literally fighting and wrestling with this thought. I want you to give more than you have. I want you to give more than you have. 2 weeks later, I get a text like this, and it says, John Michael, what's up, buddy? Do you know any families in need of a blessing? If you know of anyone in need, let me know. I'd like to help them out. Groceries, clothing, pay a bill, etc. Right? Little do you guys know, but this guy's a multi-millionaire, right? And it was really cool because he's in my Facebook group and he notices like, hey, I've got so much trust, so much credibility with this Facebook group. We've got about 3,600 members, but when I say 3,600 members, I mean actually 3,600 members. It's not like spams and bots and a bunch of people that just view it. It's actually 3,600 people that engage, comment, and reply. And so it was so cool because a light sparked in my head, just like this. You see, there's a light right here. It sparked in my head, and it was like, hey, maybe this is what God was talking about, right? Give more than you actually have. And then what I realized is that more than what I have is resources, right? I have credibility within a Facebook group, and I have resources. And so what was really cool is there's this kid, his name's Bear, and this is his dad, Keith. And I found out that Bear unfortunately has kidney disease, and he was pretty much about to die. And what was crazy is like we started this Facebook group really legitimately not to get leads, but just to create an amazing community. And I got that text, and I'm like, man, who do I find to help? Right? Who do I find to help? And then I'm like, you know what? We can do more than just groceries and bills and all of this. We can do more than that. And so I found I realized, you know what? We have the dads group. We have 3,600 dads that we can come together and legitimately help a kid that's probably that might die. Like seriously, might die. And so what happened is a community came together and we made real change, right? And so this is a casino night that happened. We got about, honestly, this is in everybody. We had about 50 to 60 dads that showed up, and we raised a lot of money for Bear, which was incredible. But we had an amazing night. Everybody came together. We built camaraderie, and here's the thing, like full transparency, I didn't do it to put the spotlight on myself, but I was the authority figure that helped organize this event, right? And all of these people came from a Facebook group that Facebook suggested to them that they should join, right? So in other words, I wouldn't have known any of these people unless it was a Facebook group, right? And I'll tell you a secret. In the room right behind me, I've got a son. He's on the spectrum, and his teacher, her name is Miss Sonia. She's in the room right behind me, watching my son, helping him with speech therapy, and it was really cool that like I found her the best speech therapist in this entire city, is in the other room right now, because I started a Facebook group, and because her husband is in that Facebook group, right? And there's so many blessings that have happened from this Facebook group that are beyond my knowledge, beyond my capability, right? And so what ended up happening, what's really cool is that, actually, let's go back to that. What's really cool is that a Facebook community is basically an ecosystem of trust, of credibility, that if you can create an ecosystem that helps everyone, that you provide events that help others. And also in these events, actually, we'll get to that a little later, but it's such an amazing opportunity for leads and giving back to your community, right? So let's talk about a story about Lego. So back in early 2000, Lego was actually $800 million in debt. They were about to go bankrupt. And they were like, you know what? We need new leadership. So let's try to hire a new CEO. And so they hired this new CEO. He was a young guy, and he realized that they were not listening to their customers, and they had zero community. They were building a product and expecting it for it to sell, but nobody actually wanted that product, right? And so what they did is they created a community of people that already liked Legos, and asked them, they engaged with them, and they said, what do you guys actually like, right? Instead of just building blocks, instead of just creating blocks, what do you guys actually like? And then what happened is that they started finding out that the people that were buying their Legos liked Star Wars. They liked Mario Brothers. They liked different characters from different movies. And so what they said is, you know what we're going to do is we're going to create Legos that are around these themes, right? And so they started engaging with a community that they created. And now Legos is one of the biggest companies in the world. But the fastest way to build trust and influence in your local market is not by shouting louder. It's by building with people and not at them. Okay. I'm going to say that one more time. The fastest way to build trust and influence in your local market is not by shouting louder. Everybody thinks, hey, I'm a real estate agent. Hey, I'm a real estate agent. Hey, I'm a real estate agent. Instead of building with others and not shouting at them, right? So how does this apply to you? If Lego can reverse $800 million in debt by valuing community, imagine what you can build by creating a Facebook group that gives people identity, that gives people purpose, and that gives a place that people can connect. Okay. So this is the second part for Facebook groups. One thing that really helps me is literally being intentional about edifying others. It's extremely important in Facebook groups. If you see someone doing something awesome, point it out and congratulate them. If you build an environment of people that build each other up, it will become contagious. And guess what happens when you start selling houses within that group and you've been giving people shout outs all the time, right? And you start selling houses within that group. Guess what happens? People start giving you shout outs. It's just the law of reciprocity, right? I really don't want to take this lightly. Any chance that you get to talk highly of others in a Facebook group, the better. Trust me, it's a very good look for you and will be reciprocated if you take care of your clients and continually give to the group. And I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about the 4 things we talked about earlier. All right, so let's talk about some Facebook group algorithm hacks. Engaging with comments and posts will help you start gaining influence within the group. Facebook group posts that get more engagements. With engagement means likes, comments, in some cases shares, will push your post in front of more people throughout Facebook. And Facebook rewards your post with more eyes, the more people like and comment on your post, right? And so there's a strategy that I do, and it's called the time decay strategy. I'm sorry. And your post is going to push to more people when people comment, like, and post. I already said that. So basically what happens is that if I make a post, let's say 8 a.m. in the morning, and then one person comments on it at 9 a.m. in the morning, I'll probably comment back on that one, right? Every time I comment back on that post, I'll probably ask a question with what I'm replying to that person, right? The reason why I'm asking a question is because they're going to reply back to my comment. They're going to answer that question, right? So every time someone comments on my post, then it will push your post back up to the top of everyone's timeline, right? And so if multiple people comment on the same post, I do not reply to every comment all at once. I actually delay the comments due to the fact that if I comment on one reply at one time at 9 a.m., it gets pushed back up to the timeline. But then if I comment on another reply at, let's say, 10:30 a.m., it gets pushed back up to the timeline, right? If I comment on another reply and then ask a question, it gets pushed up on the timeline. So throughout the entire day, everyone is like, why am I seeing John Michael's face, John Michael's name all day, right? It's because I'm doing what's called a time decay strategy. On Facebook groups, there is a special badge that you can get if you own the Facebook group. This is really helpful. It's an expert badge. And so basically every time you make a post, it will show that you're the expert in real estate, right? And so if you're the authority figure, if you're doing the time decay strategy, which basically means pushing your post back up. And then every time your post is being pushed back up on the timeline, people are seeing that you're the expert in real estate. It's just constantly marketing yourself, but not even telling anyone you're in real estate because you're probably talking about something else, right? It's just a badge that automatically is right next to your name. Okay.
John Michael, can I ask something real quick just on that right
go
there
ahead.
before we go? So when you're talking about like commenting on just your regular posts on Facebook, all right?
Correct.
Is that what you're talking about? Just and delaying those out because it keeps pushing you up. You're not talking about the actual group at this point.
Well, I am talking about the group. Yeah. So a post that's within the group.
Okay, it pushes it back to the top within that group.
No, it actually pushes it back to the top of the timeline or higher in the timeline within the people that are within the group.
Gotcha. Okay, okay, I got you. That makes
Yeah.
sense. Okay.
So here are some tactics to start a successful lead generating Facebook group. So full transparency, choosing a name for your Facebook group is extremely important. I would start off with the location first and also have a niche that you are interested in. So right here, this is one of my Facebook groups, the Leander Cedar Park Dads, right? And so I have the location first, and then Dads, which is the niche, or the Moms of Cedar Park, right? You could do dog lovers of, I don't know, Cedar Park of Pflugerville, whatever. But you need a location in the name and then also a niche. The reason why is that when it pops up for people, they'll see, oh, that's a location that I'm at, and that's a niche that I like. I'm gonna click to join, right? So here's a couple of other examples: Manhattan Moms Group, San Francisco Dads Group, or if you want to get smaller to the neighborhoods, let's say you live in a big city, then I would do neighborhoods, right? So Bryson is a neighborhood that I live in. So Bryson Dog Lovers, Summerlin Motorcycle Enthusiasts, right? This will help you get closer to the people that you are actually wanting to sell or help buy homes in, right? Okay, so when it comes to, and guys, I charge a lot of money for this course, so you are getting it completely free. The only thing I ask is to follow me on Instagram at John Michael Perez. Quick important tip: before you start your group, as an admin, you can go into the settings and make it to where members have to have their posts approved before it goes public. You want to make sure you preserve the quality of your group by not allowing spam and promotion, right? And so I actually turn on post approval on so that people are not, so that when people make a post, you can approve it or not approve it. There's a lot of people that just want to promote themselves in Facebook groups, and we want to stop that from the very beginning because it will hurt the algorithm and people will not want to be a part of your group. All right, so at first, start the group as a public group. I suggest that once it hits about 500 members, switch to a private group. That is just a rough advice. You don't have to go exactly 500 members. But so you can be, and when we switch it over to private group, you can begin asking qualifying questions when people ask to join. The reason why we want to ask qualifying questions when people ask to join is so that we can start collecting their information. And then when we get their information, we put it in a newsletter, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Invite your friends, but do not invite people who are not within the category you are aiming for. Why? Because Facebook's algorithm suggests your group to the criteria of people that are within that group. And so if you invite people that are outside the criteria of the people that are within that Facebook group, it will start suggesting people that are outside of that criteria and unfortunately mess up the algorithm of sending you leads. So here's my tip in full transparency. This is a hard one that I have to walk the line with. Do not invite other agents to this group unless they are part of your team, your downline, or however. Do not deny other agents. Don't deny them if they want to join, but don't invite them. We do not want to come from a place of scarcity. We're a part of EXP, right? And so we want to not burn bridges, right? Because it does help us grow our organization. If we're over delivering in value and we are the authority figure within the Facebook group, then it doesn't matter because they're always going to pick you. All right, so this is how to grow your group. First off, you can start a Facebook group. This is back when my group was 2.3. We've grown so much from then. You can click on invites, and then you can also click on share group. This is done from a mobile device. You can also do this on desktop. Click invite, then share group, and then you can copy the link to that Facebook group, and then you could share it to your friends when you're first starting, right? And so, but you do have to share it to your friends that are within that certain niche and criteria. We require questions in order to join for a few important reasons. So we do not allow spammers, bots. There's so many duct cleaners and car detailers, I misspelled car, are the most popular scam accounts that try to join. We also attempt to collect every membership request, email address to put it into a newsletter. So here are the questions that I ask for my Facebook groups. What area do you live? This question prevents spammers and bots, because if they say some random area that's not pertaining to the criteria, then it lets me know they're a bot. Are you a, whatever the niche is, cat lover, motorcycle enthusiast, mom, dad? And then enter the email if you would like more information about our events, giveaways, and news. Include how many members are subscribed if you have a substantial amount. And the reason why I do this is to build credibility, to show them that other people are doing it as well, right? So I would basically put enter email if you would like more information about our events, giveaways, and news. And then I would say something like, we already have 800 other dads, other cat enthusiasts that are a part of our newsletter, so you should join too. And then the last one is, do you agree with the rules? They have to agree to the rules in order for them to join. And then pretty much every day I will go in there and accept or decline. I do decline a lot of people, I will say, just because if they are not within the criteria, it's funny because I have a dad's group, right? We've got 3,600 dads, and a lot of moms and wives try to join in. And so unfortunately I have to decline them because they are not within that criteria. So not everyone will submit their email in the questionnaire. So I would not deny them if they don't put their email, because they'll likely submit at a later time if they see you're talking about it casually in posts that you give out discounts, news, and events. So here's an example of the questionnaire that I add. What area do you live? Leander. Are you a dad? Yes. Enter email if you like more information. And right at that point, I only had 600 people that were subscribed. And so enter your email if you'd like more information about our events. This is literally a real life example. Do you agree with the rules? Agree, and then approve. And so what I'll do is I'll just take his email and put it in the newsletter. And so now they're getting newsletters and marketing from myself. All right, so this is the script that I send to new members when they join. Welcome to the Dads Group. You're in. This group is all about helping each other as dads, men, and leaders in business, faith, health, and life. Real quick, drop a post to introduce yourself. Name, city, how many kids in one area you're working on right now. Also, and here's the promotion part. Also, I'm a local real estate agent. So if you ever need help with anything housing related, I'm just a message away. Let's grow together. Let's win together. See you in the comments. I made this post that sounds like me. This is something that would sound like me. And then I put a link to the group on the very end of that message. So basically what would happen is if they apply to join the group, I would click on their name, send them this message, and then approve them. And so, yeah. Okay. How to grow your group. Once you receive email addresses, put it in your CRM. I personally use KV Core or MailChimp. To be honest, I use MailChimp more. Whatever newsletter tool you use, be consistent, which means at least one time a week. I usually take a screenshot of answer submissions and store them in a special album on my phone and then send them to my assistant once a week to input them into my CRM. So I don't know if you guys know, but open rate for newsletters are fairly low, but mine's pretty good. It's actually better now. It's like closer to 65% now, but that means a high volume of the close to 900 people that are on my newsletter are literally opening it because they're looking forward to reading my newsletter. The open rates for newsletters and Facebook groups are very high due to the fact that we've created an environment where people look forward to the value we give and do not lead with commission breath. Just looking for our next client, we lead with value. So on these, and I probably should start putting a presentation about what my newsletter looks like, but I would say it's probably 80% value. So local events, local news, and then 20% real estate, right? So 80% value. I am not leading with real estate. I'm leading with how can I help these people? I'm leading with vendors that are in the area. I'm celebrating others. I'm edifying others. And then at the very bottom, I'm doing a corner of real estate for myself, because first off, I want people to open my newsletter, right? Just like we talked about in the very beginning, too many people are being advertised to. And the thing is if we lead with value and then advertise only 20% of the time, then people are legitimately going to want to listen to your message, right? So we're going to talk about a weekly content calendar. I am so consistent on this, and I've been doing it for 5 years now. We try to only promote our personal business on Tuesdays. And I use social proof showing that I've helped other people inside the group. And if you guys don't know, the best form of influence is social proof, basically saying, hey, I've worked with people just like you, right? On your Business Tuesday post. Okay, so let me give you some examples of exactly what I do, and it's awesome. And I hope you guys connect what I talked about at the beginning of this training, when I said every time someone comments on it, it pushes back the post to the top, right? So let's connect the two, okay? Business Tuesday, and here, read these with me. If you own a business or would like to promote your business, use this post. This group is an amazing opportunity for your network to grow. I even, if you're thinking about buying or selling a home, please consider myself. This is only on one day out of the week, right? And then I post a picture of me with a client that's within that Facebook group. I make them feel special, right? And now here's the thing. Hey, John, I don't have anybody in my Facebook group that I've helped buy or sell. Cool. Well, if you have any type of picture of you in a professional setting, make that post, right? Start somewhere. Done is better than perfect, right? Also need a solid insurance guy. Jeff Lepoff is your man. Look, I'm edifying others even when I'm promoting myself, right? And so if we go back to, let me go back real quick. If we go back to the strategy I talked about at the very beginning, when we talked about comments. And so I tell people on my post, you can only promote yourself when you comment on my post, right? So every time 81 comments, right? 81 times my post was pushed to the top of everyone's timeline. And guess who they saw on the top of their timeline with a picture of their clients? On the badge, it says group expert in real estate. And so now every single time someone's commenting and promoting themselves, my post is getting pushed at the very top, right? This is a ninja trick that has helped me get so much business. Just a few other examples if y'all like to take a look. All right, cool. So here is the content calendar. Monday, this is what I use. You can even take a screenshot if you'd like. You can do anything you'd like, however you want. And sometimes I am flexible on this, but it's the most consistent. I've been very consistent for 5 years on this. Monday, positive motivational post. Tuesday, Business Tuesday post. That is the most important post when it comes to promoting myself. Wednesday, I do a share a win Wednesday. I literally ask other members in the group and I say, hey, share a win. We'd love to hear it. But then I also make a disclaimer that says, yesterday was Business Tuesday. Don't be trying to get around the rule of promoting yourself. All right, Thursday, every Thursday, I have a reminder or post about events that are happening within the month. Saturday, news and new local restaurants. And Sunday, I usually don't make a post. However, if something comes up that I'd like to post, I will. But pretty much Monday through Saturday, I'll post something. And then Sunday, I use as Setup Sunday. I think it's so important to at least spend 2 hours before the week to plan your following week. And I'm not just talking about Facebook groups. I'm just talking about business in general. I always do something called Setup Sunday, and that's really helped me. All right. So this is one of the most important parts: how to use events to strengthen your Facebook groups. Events are essential to transform your Facebook group from just another spammy page into a genuinely engaged community. They build real life connections that boost online interaction. However, timing matters. Don't start hosting events until your group has traction and you can at least bring 5 to 10 people, in my opinion. Now, here's the thing. If you want to meet up with 2 to 3 people, that's totally fine. But but I would say probably 5 to 10 people is a good size. So this is the easiest way to collect your Facebook groups, phone numbers, and emails by creating a event RSVP list, right? So we want people to RSVP to our events. And this is old. I probably have triple this amount of leads. Events build relationships that deepen community trust. You create synergy. People engage more online after you meet them offline. And events foster loyalty and boost referrals. You become a connector, not just a content poster. So just for this example, this is a 3-year-old screenshot. I had 832 leads within, I don't remember honestly, it's probably 6 months or something like that. But every single time somebody would put a lead in, they would put their email, their phone number, and their name. And so now I put them onto my newsletter and I have all their contact information. This is 832 people that I stay in contact with, that I have something similar to them, and they're within my local area, right? So this is a ninja trick. If you're not using RSVP lists in your events to collect their info, you absolutely should. All right, so there are 2 types of events that I want to focus on. Weekly events, usually smaller, more casual, not every time. Well, the smaller events, I don't usually do RSVP. They're more for networking, but I do help curate these events. You can use RSVP sheet if you'd like, especially at the beginning. These are the 5 things that you need. Of RSVP sheet, collect email, phone number, and name. You can use Google Forms. That's completely free. You're also going to need a venue. And don't overthink it, guys. Done is better than perfect. Don't overthink it. You can meet at a coffee shop. You can meet at a taco restaurant. Anywhere that's free, you can use that place. I usually have an advertisement graphic. So I use Canva, super free. They have a ton of templates. And then music, if you can, that's optional but beneficial. I always like to set the mood. And then a value to attract potential attendees. These are for my monthly events. The monthly events are the bigger events, right? So I do one monthly event. And then honestly, we've got like, now that we've grown to a size where I don't have to be at every other event. We've got like 4 events a week that I don't have to be at. I don't have to be at because people are already self-leading them, which is really cool. So we've got Taco Tuesday, Taco Thursday. We've got 3 basketball events a week as well. So that's actually 5 meetups, 5 opportunities for meetups. In full transparency, I'm selling a lot of houses, so I can't be at every event. But it's cool that now that it's running without my participation, but I am the authority figure within each event. So they know that, if I need to tweak things, move things, or help organize, or sometimes even our basketball events, we do a charity event 2 times a year. And they need more of my help, or they need more attendees. So then I'll just get my marketing brain on and help more people grow. All right. For the smaller events, you need a venue, music, advertisement, graphic. For the smaller events, I don't usually get a RSVP sheet. Usually that's a smaller event. Like, to me, smaller events like 15 to 20 people, but I usually know those amount of people. But to you, that might be a big event. So it's ultimately up to you. And here's the thing: if they're like regulars to your events, they don't need to sign in every single time. All right. All right. Here's the secret sauce. Okay. So on Facebook groups, when I close on deals, every single time I close on a deal, I will call that person up and I will say, "Hey, Cody, I was wondering, hey, you met me on that Facebook group. We had a great time working together. I was wondering if it's okay if you can make a testimonial for me on that specific Facebook group." The reason why it's so much more effective, I also asked them on that same phone call to make a Google testimonial for me as well. But the reason why it's so effective on Facebook groups is because you already have a lot of credibility within a lot of people. People want to work with locals, right? and people that they have some type of connection with. And so when you're leveraging other people's trust, that is one of the highest forms of influence, right? And so I simply ask, I say, hey, do you mind just making a post? And here's a script. I got like 5 leads just from this testimonial right here. And they're warm leads. They're not like, we were thinking about buying and you never hear from them again. They're like, no, we're ready to buy. Here's a script that I use. Hey, Alan, I had a great time helping you purchase or sell your home. I was wondering if you could do me a small favor. Would you mind writing a positive review on my Google page and also the Facebook group that we both are a part of? And honestly, you can only do this like 1 to 2 times a week without seeming like it's a pitch fest for your business. But when done properly, it has a very high success rate in generating new leads. Remember, our main intention is to bring value and create community. With that said, we want to leverage the group's trust by getting the group to talk about us, right? And the only way, I hate to remove all the magic, right? But one of the best ways for other people to start talking about you is to ask them to talk about you, right? But you have to offer value, right? We simply ask, right? So here's the script. And like I said, these testimonials are extremely powerful, especially if you have successfully created a positive community where people start talking and knowing each other through the events you've created. Each testimonial is almost a guaranteed future referral. Almost every time I get a testimonial, it's a guaranteed. All right, now converting the leads to clients. That's the most important part. And that's a whole different training, but it's the most important part. When people reach out to me, when I did not know what to say, I wasn't able to convert them into an actual closed client. It's one thing to have a lead. It's another thing to have a client. But I always suggest getting on the phone ASAP. That is a totally different training, but I always want to put that in there because it's so important. Too many people are wasting too much time talking over email, talking over text. The highest form of communication is in person, on Zoom, or over the phone. And so we want to get them from texting you, messaging you, emailing you, to on the phone, which is level 2, to in person, which is level 3. All right. I'm going to say it one more time. One more ask. Free 2-hour lead gen activity protocol plus agent success schedule. I literally get so many leads from the 2-hour lead gen protocol. So many agents are like, what do? I don't know what to do. I would do the 2-hour lead protocol. I literally do this 3 times a week and I close a lot of deals. All I ask is you follow me on Instagram. And then we've got a little time left. If you guys have questions, please let me know. Instagram is at John Michael Perez, and I'll send the link once you message me. Hopefully that was valuable. Oh gosh, you got a lot of questions on this chat.
There's a lot of comments. It's really, really good stuff.
Appreciate that.
And we'll open it up, guys. Any questions, any thoughts, comments? I do have one quick. How long did it take you to build up? You're at 3,600 members now. Is that right, Joe Michael?
Yeah. So it took me 6 months to get my first lead. It took me, we're 4 years in right now, or 4 years in right now.
Sure. So 4 years to get to that point. That's awesome. Do you do any online events with
That's
the group?
a good question. Not really. We should, but not really.
Just a thought, whatever.
That is a great tip.
I mean, even a monthly online thing or something that people could come to of some sort. I don't know what it would be necessarily. I don't know if people have any thoughts on that, but depending on what the group is, I guess, just a thought. So
thank you, Tracy. That was an awesome comment. Thank you.
Well, Jeff, I have a thought on that. So
go ahead.
So you could do a monthly online thing to just say, like if you have a really nice restaurant in your area and you got somebody, you could go to the restaurant, they'll probably give you a gift certificate, say for $100 or $200 or whatever, and you just have an online appreciation event to where you're going to spin a wheel and give away the gift certificate. And then you're just going to talk about events in the area, and that's all you do for like an hour, just say. And then that would be something you could give them away, give that to them just for showing up and having a discussion. Plus, it'll give you ideas for new content going forward. If somebody tells you something in the area that, did you know they're building a Costco right now? And you're like, oh, I didn't know that. So then, boom, there you go.
Yeah.
That is such good advice.
The
I'm
idea
sorry,
of
I
the
should know your
giveaway.
name. What's your name? I apologize.
Andy.
Andy, thank you so much. That was such good advice.
Yeah.
I do that a lot. I actually do that a lot as well. But man, I love that. Thank you for sharing.
People will show you like a giveaway like that, Andy. I mean, and again, they have to be at the meeting to get to to win it. Like we're gonna draw out of a hat or do the rotation number thing on our phone. Those apps you can get that are, everybody's got a number 48. And if he's here, he gets the gift certificate kind of thing. You have to stick around through the meeting to get it. Something like that could be cool. How often do you send your newsletter, John Michael?
Twice a month.
Twice a month. Okay.
Also, I'm just going to plug again, but if you guys are making it out to EXPCon, I'll be speaking at the buyer conversion panel. I'll be leading that with I guess moderating the speaking breakout session. So if you are at the EXPCon, I'd love to meet you at the EXPCon buyer conversion breakout session.
Nice. Very cool. I would share. I can't. On this computer, for whatever reason, my Instagram, I can't get in there right now. On this computer right here, or I would share your link right here to do it. If anybody has it, guys, feel free to put it in the chat. I'll definitely go and follow. I got you on my phone. I'll definitely be following you. Any other questions, thoughts, comments? Tracy? Oh,
I just love it. I thank you so very much. We were taught this a long time ago, John Michael. So like I said in my comment, it has really fired me back up. I had mentioned that I thought I had a group, but it actually was a page, Atlanta's Best Spots. But I can see the benefit of the groups and even just a reiteration of the things that will make it great. So I am so thankful for today's training, and thank you, Freedom Team. But yeah, this is awesome, John Michael. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It genuinely makes me feel on top of the world.
Really good stuff. Great stuff. Something that anybody could do. We got a lot of brand new agents on here, or new in the last 6 months, 8 months, that kind of stuff. And it's a hard market. And again, just something you can put in and just start creating something here. It starts with 5, 10, 15, 20, and starts building, and just keep bringing in, provide value, and what that can lead to. You become the expert in that group. I love your idea of Business Tuesdays, wins on Wednesday. I guess the wins, you could post your testimonials on Wednesdays, that kind of thing, and different people could. There's so many ways to use that, but it's not just, I think that's what we all get into. I know I catch myself doing that. It's just real estate, all over my Facebook. It's like, stop, you gotta, whatever. It's after a while, it's like, oh geez, like enough already, but think about something like a niche that you would want to get into. I mean, there's some good suggestions on there. You had some in your thing. I mean, whether it's, travel, whether it's, somebody mentioned the pets, dogs and cats. I mean, I don't know, dads, moms, Christian moms, Christian dads, families. I mean, there's so many things you could do and create a group. And man, this is powerful and doesn't cost anything. So
also, if it does cost, I will say, we built a vendor list of sponsors that like genuinely look forward to sponsoring our events. Like they reach out to me and say, John, when's the next event that I can throw $250 towards? Right. Because the ecosystem of credibility and trust is so high that every time a sponsor sponsors that event, we think about how can we genuinely get them business. So now every single time they're like, it's a no-brainer that they want to sponsor our event. And what's really cool is that I don't feel it's not very hard for me I don't even need to sell. I don't have to sell them to sponsor an event. Like we raised about $16,000 for a charity recently, and it was like no brainer. They've gotten so much value from this Facebook group because we literally send out so many referrals to other vendors that it's like, yeah, of course. Like it would be stupid not to.
Cool. Any last thoughts, comments before we wrap it up? Thank you so much for being here. Okay. It is great to see everybody. John Michael, thank you so much. We will see you in Miami.